Hi, my name is Chris Melnick and I'm a realtor in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Today, I'm going to talk about the different ways you can buy new construction. Now, there are really 4 different ways to buy new construction. First, the builder owns the land and has already built a home to their specifications, aka a spec home, so everything is picked out. These are often listed on MLS. The purchase of this would work just like a resale home. You would make the offer with a closing date. Then, if it's accepted, you put down a deposit. Then the remaining money is paid on possession or closing. You also pay the 1.5% deed transfer tax on the entire purchase in the HRN. Number 2, the builder owns the land and hasn't finished building the home yet, or maybe even started. These are also often listed on MLS. Now, depending on what stage the home is, you may be able to change the colors, the finishings, or even the plan to suit your tastes. But they're going to want a bigger deposit. The builder doesn't want to be stuck with a heavily personalized home if the deal goes sideways prior to closing. Then the remaining money is paid on possession. You also pay the 1.5% deed transfer tax on the entire price in the HRM. Just be careful if you've received a mortgage pre-approval at a locked-in rate when agreeing to buy one of these homes, as that locked-in rate is usually only valid if the home closes within 120 days. And the actual time it'll take for the home to be complete will likely be more than 6 months. This means that if you agree to buy the home and you need a mortgage, you basically have to accept whatever fixed or variable rate you can get in the future around the time of closing or possession. Number 3, you own the land and want the builder to build on it. This is sometimes the only option if you're looking for a custom home. This works differently because the builder needs to be paid as the home is being built. This is usually done in 3 to 4 installments, like foundation, being roof tight, having everything roughed in, and then finally completion. In this instance, you would either need cash or construction financing, which has higher interest rates for the purchase. The typical cheap mortgage rates that you see are for homes that you can actually live in right then. Although when the home is complete, you can convert the construction financing to a typical mortgage. And on the positive side, you're only paying the deed transfer tax on the land, not the construction. 1.5% of a $600,000 bill is $9,000, for example, so it could be quite the savings. The 4th option is to see if the builder would be willing to buy the land that you pick out and create a turnkey package for you. In this case, you would pay a bigger deposit and then pay the remaining amount on closing, just like a typical home purchase, with the 1.5% deed transfer tax. Many builders don't do this because they don't want to take the risk or will only do this when the housing market is slow. They also need to give their approval on the land. They don't want to be stuck with a brand new home in a poor location where they couldn't recoup their money if the deal goes sideways prior to closing. As a 5th or bonus option, you could buy your own land and act as your own general contractor / project manager and pick and manage the trades. I would not suggest this unless you have a lot of experience in the industry and a lot of local connections. One of the big positives of working with a builder is using their established relationships with tradespeople. For example, if I was trying to act as a project manager of the construction of my own home and wanted to hire framers, the same framers that a builder uses would probably charge me more. Why? Because I'm an unknown risk. And if they don't have any experience working with me, they have to account for the risk of something going wrong. With the builder who they've been working with for years, there would likely be much less risk. And they're getting a lot more work from the builder, so logically, they get a better rate. Also, in terms of scheduling, if I'm just one person with one job for them, I probably wouldn't be too high up on their priority list. If any job were to be delayed, it would probably be mine. Whereas, if their biggest builder client needed something, they would likely be given top priority and their schedule would be a lot more stable and predictable. Now, if the market were slow, this would probably be different. But here where good tradespeople are in very high demand, they can be rightfully picky with who they work with and how they work, as they should. Now, let's say you're interested in one of those 4 methods of buying new construction I listed. What now? Now, you could talk to builders by yourself, or you can also use a realtor to help you buy new construction. Even on non-MLS listed new construction, most of the big builders just build in a realtor's fee to their pricing. Builders and realtors are working together constantly, so builders want to make sure that realtors are taken care of. In this way, having a realtor work with you to buy on-market new construction or off-market new construction can be effectively free to you. And they've been through this process many times before. They know what to expect, and they probably know the good and bad builders. Also, realtors probably have more influence compared to just a regular person. So a builder would probably be much more likely to ensure that they stay happy than tell all of their future clients and business contacts to avoid the builder in the future if their client's experience was poor. Now, if a client wants me to help them buy off-market new construction, this is normally what I do. By knowing their budget and what and where they're looking, I can get them to look at floor plans that they like off of recommended builders' websites. Then we meet with the builders and discuss options, alterations, and pricing. You can also ask them if they have any lots that they own. Now, no builder is going to give you the exact construction prices without seeing the land first if it isn't theirs. There's often a lot of allowances in there, which I'll talk about later. But this will give you a ballpark idea of what you'd be looking at. The builders will often later send you detailed quotes or contracts that list the terms. Now, with those different quotes, I put them together on a spreadsheet to compare them. So be sure to watch my next video, where I talk about the things to look for when comparing builders' quotes and contracts. As always, I hope you got some value from this video. My contact information is in the description. Goodbye.